I do believe we have Naveen Kulkarni of Axis Securities with us joining in. Naveen, what do you make of the initial numbers? 18% volume growth is what we have, and alongside that, margins have come in just about 100 basis points below what the street was working with. How would you view these numbers?
See, I view the numbers to be quite encouraging, honestly. So if I were to look at the volume growth, we were expecting 16% volume growth. They have delivered 18%. So that number is definitely very, very strong, right? That's point number one. Point number two, if I were to look at the overall revenue numbers, the revenue numbers are slightly higher than what we were expecting. So that's also encouraging, considering the price growth has actually had an impact in this quarter. Secondly, if I were to look at the EBITDA numbers are also slightly higher than what we were building in. We were building in around 1,470 crores. Company has delivered a number which is higher than that. So that's also, I would say, that reasonably strong. The QOQ margin improvement looks very, very robust. And of course, the earnings, I would say that is slightly ahead, considering what the EBITDA numbers were compared to our expectations. The street had, I would say that the variance of the street was quite large. People had expectations from 1,250 crores to more than 1,600 crores in terms of EBITDA numbers. So overall, I would say that the numbers look quite encouraging to me at this juncture.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the gross margins as well this time around, and they've seen an improvement on a quarter-on-quarter basis, a substantial improvement out there as well. The one question I'd like to know, your view on, Naveen, is that the stock going into numbers after a bit of a correction that we saw post the previous quarter was virtually at a record high. Even now as we speak, just about 5% away from its all-time high. 75 times FY23 earnings for this one. Do you think that, it's priced to perfection, or after these numbers, you would take a look at those numbers once again and say that there could be further upside, or you would look at other companies?
See, one factor is very, very clear. The kind of growth that Asian Paints is reporting is phenomenal. Right? Volume growth in 17-18% kind of a range, plus price growth, company being able to defend its margin or ability to improve margins. I don't think so you find many businesses which have this kind of caliber. That's point number one. Point number two, still this is a sector where a future growth rate can continue to remain very, very strong, right? So double-digit volume growth for the next couple of years is something which is very, very much likely. Only question was with regards to margins. That is, I think the company has managed to solve some bit of it. Going ahead, if margins improve further, and considering the commentary was encouraging, I don't see that Asian Paints can not continue to do well. I think it can still continue to do well even from current levels, even though the stock looks very, very expensive optically. But considering the performance that we are seeing, it's very much possible that the company can still continue to deliver good double-digit returns to its investors.
The gross margins this time around have come in at closer to 37%, and that's a near 210, 220 basis points improvement over the last quarter, even as it is about 800 basis points lower than the same time last year. That was understandable. We have Shirish Pardeshi with us as well. Shirish, your thoughts on the numbers and your call on the paint sector. Would you stick with Asian Paints or perhaps look at others now?
Same time last year, that was understandable. Thank you. Thanks for having me on the show. My quick take is that the numbers came in line. I think the volume growth, which is very strong, which is remain very, very strong across the sectors, and that's what we try to find out across the channels and the markets. Second point is that it was expected the price increases which has happened in the month of December, the full impact can be seen in the Q4. That's what my quick take. The last point is that the market conditions and the distribution efforts which the market leader has taken, I think there is a chance that they would have definitely garnered some market share in the south market and in the northern market. So overall, my view is that I would be still positive, and coming quarters, I think the strong numbers should be reported by Asian Paints.
All right, Shirish, as well as Naveen, thank you so much for joining in and giving us your views on that. So in case you just joined in, as far as Asian Paints numbers are concerned, but it was an absolutely in-line performance as far as the top line is concerned. We did see volumes grow at around 18%. The street was working with a range of 16 to 18%.